Okay, so again, this warm up is based on 2 days ago, the notes we did, and yesterday's assignment. Okay, should I have headphones in, please? Please. Appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. On number 1, if you have 2 congruent sides, that means you have 2 congruent angles. You kind of just draw an arrow across. So across from this one tick mark is 72. What's going to be across from this one tick mark? Matching sides gives you matching angles. So X has to be 72 degrees. Okay. Now, number 2, we have 2 congruent angles. So this is the converse. This is backwards. But if across from this one arc is 5, what's across from this one arc? 5, okay? Matching angles gives you matching sides, okay? Across from each other. Cool? So those are kind of the easier ones. But the third one over here, a little bit more complicated, a little bit. Now I see I have 2 labeled angles, and this one at the bottom right is missing. I should probably find that one out first. How do you think I can find out this angle at the bottom right? Okay, so I have the tick marks, which tell me that the opposite sides are congruent. So across from this one opposite side, yeah. Across from opposite angles are congruent, I should say. Sorry, my bad. This tick mark gives you 80 degrees, so across from this tick mark is 80 degrees, okay? Now 80 is not the answer, but that will help you get the answer. What do I know about the inside of a triangle? What do these 3 angles add up to? Does everyone know 180 degrees, right? So if you know 3 values, you can add them up, equals 180 every time. So let's go ahead and write that equation. What is going on here? Go away. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to write one angle plus my other angle. So the bottom base angle is 80 plus 80 plus, what's that angle up top? 2x minus 60. If you add up all 3 of those angles, you set it equal to 180 because the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180. Okay. So you set it up. Then the question is, what do I do? You can use and solve, menu 3-1, that's fine. But I'm showing you how to do it by hand. If you have a long equation, let's make it simpler by combining like terms, simplifying it. So do y'all see on the left side, we have 80, 80, and then minus 60. So what's 80 plus 80, and then minus 60? Okay, good. 80 plus 80 is 160, minus 60 is 100. Bring down the plus 2x, bring down equals 180. Okay, now we have a 2-step problem. I want to get x by itself, so I need to get rid of the loner. How do I get rid of a positive 100? Subtraction. The opposite of positive is negative, so subtract 100. 2x gives me 80. 180 minus 100 is 80. Last step, to get rid of that 2 in front of x. It's a coefficient being multiplied. What's the opposite of that? Divide by 2. And what do I get? 40. Okay? X is 40. Okay. Now, all right, so, my bad. I'm going to pass this out. Today we're talking about exterior angles. So if you didn't finish yesterday's assignment, you'll have time after this, okay? We're going to do some quick notes on exterior angles. Oh, sorry. Okay, is everyone looking at this sheet? Okay. So, I want y'all to look up at the front board for me, please. This is kind of small, so it might be kind of hard to see, okay? So everyone's looking up here. Again, these are brand new notes. I don't want headphones in. Okay, while we're doing notes, please. Now, again, I know it's small, so bear with me. I need your head up, everybody. Look over here. So, if I have a triangle, did you know if you take one of the sides and you extend it, you can create call it an exterior angle, okay? So what this page, the front of it, is telling you is how to discover the relationship. So what does it say to do? Cut out a triangle, I did that. Tear off angles 2 and 3. So I did that. So look right here. Tear them off. Okay? And then it says you want to see how it lines up next to the first angle. So here's the question. Do these two ripped off angles fit in here next to angle 1, where angle 4 is? So I'm going to put that right here. So line it up. And then line the other one up. Okay, it's not on there perfect, but you get the idea. Try it again. Okay, so here's the big takeaway. Okay, those two angles that are farthest away from the exterior angle add up to that exterior angle. Okay, so this is just a visual of what I'm about to show you, what we're about to write at the bottom. Okay, you can put it in your own words, but you for sure want to write down this. Hold on. This class conjecture, which I do not have right here. So let me type this out. That was my bad. I deleted the last one. Go ahead and write this down. An exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote interior angles. All right, go ahead and write this down right here, please. Let me put it back on the front screen. Where's my remote? Okay, cool. So an exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote interior angles. Everyone's writing that at the bottom next to the class conjecture. When we ripped off angle 2 and 3, they fit perfectly over angle 4. So the way we say it is the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote interior angles. All right, look right here in my hand. What am I holding? A remote. Do you see our definition has the word remote in it? So the question is, what does remote mean? Now, when do I use a remote? When I'm close or far away from something? Okay, I can use it close, but the point of the remote is that you don't have to be next to something pressing a button. You can be farther away, right? Like when I turn off this projector, I can be right here. I don't have to be like pressing the off button, right? So when you see the word remote, that means far away. Okay, I want you to remember that. So that makes sense with our definition here, because this outside angle 4 equaled the remote, which means the two farthest away, added together. I ripped those two off, and they fit on angle 4. Flip it over, please. Let's do some examples. Okay. Now at the top, this is what we just talked about. On top of this little equation, let's go ahead and make a little notes here. Okay. So measure of angle 4. Go ahead and put the EXT. This is your exterior angle. Okay. Equals, and then you have your remote interior angles. This is how I like to show it. Look right here. Which one's, out of those numbers, which one's the exterior angle? What do you think? Okay, angle 4 is on the outside, right? Make a little arc there. So we're saying that outside angle equals, go ahead and put an equal sign here, right here. And you're going to add the remote, the furthest away interior angle. So from angle 4, way over here, 2 and 3. I don't care about 1. Okay? I don't care about the one right next to it. I care about the 2 that are farthest away on the inside. So it's the outside equals remote interiors added together. Okay? So this is kind of a visual. Outside equals remote interior plus remote interior. That's how this works. I'm going to show you on an example now, but that's the gist. That's the idea of what we're doing today. Okay? So look at the top left example here. Okay? Okay, now, look at this picture. Which one of these angles is on the outside? What's it labeled as? Y. Everybody, go ahead and put a little arc on Y. Y. Then we're going to put equals. And what are my 2 remote interior angles, farthest away from it? Does everyone else see? 45 and 65 are the furthest 2 away from that outside angle. So it's this plus this equals the outside angle. Okay? Outside equals remote interior. So let's write it as an equation. I'm going to write it up top where I have room. So again, outside angle, which is Y, equals, y'all told me the remote interiors are 65 and 45. So I'm going to add them up. 45 plus 65. Are y'all seeing how this works? Outside equals those 2 added up. And now I can just do some math. What is 45 plus 65? 110. Y equals 110. Cool? Now, we also need to find X. There are 2 ways to do this. Who can tell me one way to figure out X? Think about it. Okay, why would I do that? That's right, but why? Well, I mean, because these, are you talking about because these 2 angles are what? They're not congruent, but they make a straight line, right? So if they make a straight line, they're called a linear pair. And the phrase is they're supplementary, which means they add up to 180. Is that what you were thinking? Okay, cool. So again, if you have one angle and you're looking at the one next to it and they make a straight line, they're supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. So that's one good way. Okay. Now, real quick, what about the inside of a triangle? What does that add up to? Okay, I need more people looking up over here. Okay, they're every day distracting, right? Look up here. Inside of a triangle adds up to 180. You need to know that for Friday's quiz, 100%. So is everyone hearing me? Inside of a triangle adds up to 180. So I could add these 2 up and subtract from 180. They both give you the same answer. I'm just letting you know there's more than one way to figure out X. But I'm going to do 180 minus 110. And what do I get? 70 degrees. X is 70, Y was 110, okay? Cool. So again, you know 2 inside, you can figure out the remote. Those are remote from the exterior. That's it, okay? Now look at the top right one. This one's a little bit different. On the first one, Y, the missing one was outside. Over here, do we know the outside one? We do, okay? So this time, we know it, and we're missing X, actually. We're missing one of our remote interiors. But we're going to set it up the exact same way. So, everybody, on this one, what's my outside exterior angle? 130, go ahead and put an arc on that, 130, equals, and then your remote interiors are 20 plus an X. That's weird that X is one of the remote interiors, but that's fine, okay? So it's outside equals the 2 farthest away added together. Let's write that as an equation. My exterior is 130 equals, and then add those 2 remote interiors, 20 plus X. You see how the variable is now not isolated, okay? But we can still solve this. How do I get X by itself? How do I move that 20? Minus 20, right? It's positive, so I'm going to subtract, and I get 100. Okay, I get 110 degrees for X. So I'm going to label that real quick. Okay, now once again, how do I figure out Y? What's one way? Minus what? Not 110. So Y is missing. What's right next to Y? 130. So those 2 add up to 180. See how that makes a straight line right here? Straight line's 180, right? So think of it this way. Straight line's 180. If I subtract 130, I'll get Y. So 180 minus 130 is 50. Okay? Or you can do sum of the interior angles. That's another way to do it, okay? So I want you to be careful when you're doing these, because where is your missing variable? Is it on the outside? Do it like this one. Is it on the inside? Do it like this one, okay? Now, of course, there's a more complicated way of doing this too. What if they give you some expressions? We're going to set it up the same way and solve it like we've been solving things, okay? So let's do this last one real quick. What is the exterior angle? (126), okay, equals remote interior plus remote interior. You're going to add up those 2 furthest away angles on the other side of the equation. So 126 equals, first angle is 6x minus 1. That's my first remote interior. Plus, my other remote interior is 5x plus 17. If you can at least set it up, you are allowed to do end solve, menu 3-1, type it in, get your answer, okay? But if you're solving it by hand and you have a long equation, you want to simplify it by combining like terms. Do you see you have 2 x's and 2 constants on the right side? Let's combine like terms. What's 6x plus 5x? 11x, very good. Negative 1 plus 17. It is 16. Bring down 126 equals. All right. Now, to solve for x, I need to get rid of the loner 16. So minus 16. 126 minus 16 is 110. My last step, 11 is a coefficient in front of x. It's being multiplied. So what's the opposite to get rid of it? Divide by 11. So we should get x equals 10. Okay. Now that's great. X is 10, but I need to use that to figure out the missing angles. So check it out. Here's a missing angle, 6x minus 1. Here's a missing angle, 5x plus 17. So let's go ahead and write these out. 6x minus 1. I'm going to replace x with what number? 10, right? So let's do that. Whoa, sorry, 1 second. Okay, so it's 6 parentheses 10 minus 1. That means 6 times 10 minus 1. What's 6 times 10? With me, Josh? 6 times 10 is what? Minus 1? 59. Is that what you said? Sure. How come I wore my Nikes today and you didn't wear yours? All right, whatever. It's all good. Leave me hanging. All right, next one. 5x plus 17. Again, replace x with parentheses 10. 5 parentheses 10 plus 17. 5 times 10, 50 plus 17, 67 degrees. Okay. Okay, last angle. How do I figure out this missing angle if 126 is next to it and it makes a straight line? Subtract from 180, right? Is everyone getting this? Straight line is 180. Subtract the one you know, get the one you don't know. 180 minus 126 gives me 54. All right. Okay, you're going to use this information to do this assignment on exterior angles. If you want to finish yesterday's first, that's fine, but make sure you're working. Tomorrow we do a little review because we have a quiz on Friday.